Hello. Now listen, as Halloween is getting close, I wanted to tell you a story that will make your hair stand on end, that will send shivers down your spine, a story that may even scare the living daylights out of you. If you like scary stories, stick around. The story goes back several years ago, something that happened to me and my wife. We had decided to take a holiday in rural England. We were going to drive through the countryside, and I had booked a hotel, and it was an old farmhouse, more like a castle that had been converted into a hotel. The photos looked great, and I thought we would really enjoy staying here. Anyway, we set out from home. It was a bit late in the afternoon. It was raining. And as we got closer to the village where the hotel was, it was getting dark. And so my wife and I decided to get some dinner in a local pub in the village near the hotel. So we came into this oldie-worldy pub. We sat down and we got some dinner. And in this pub, there was a man. And the man came and talked to us. He was very friendly, but he told us a story that was very, very strange. He said, "Do you know near here there's a haunted hotel?" And we said, "No." And he said, "Let me tell you the story." He said, "It goes back a long time. It used to be a farmhouse." My wife and I looked at each other. And he said, "You know, there was a family, two people, there was a man and a wife and their daughter who lived there. And you see, the daughter had a boyfriend. The girl and the boy were courting. They were going out together. But the parents didn't approve of the boy. And so the girl had to meet up with him in secret. And this is what they did. After the parents had gone to bed at night, the girl would sneak downstairs, go outside, get into the car, and flash the lights of the car 3 times. And then the boy would know he could come. It was safe to come up to the house and meet the girl. And they would do this almost every night, until one night the boy was coming to the house, the farmhouse, on his motorbike. It was dark, it was raining, and tragically he crashed the motorbike and died. And the story has it that this girl now still haunts the hotel. And if you look carefully, some nights you can see 3 flashing lights. My wife and I looked at each other and thought, oh dear, it's an interesting story, but balderdash, nonsense, can't be true. Of course not. So we thanked the man and we head outside and we get into the car, but it's getting dark. Even darker, and the rain is coming down, and we start to drive along the road. There's nobody else around, in the middle of the countryside. It's dark and we're driving, and then we can see in the distance, getting closer and closer, the hotel, the farmhouse. Of course it was dark, and we drove carefully. I drove carefully up to the hotel, and I stopped as I got into the driveway and I turned off the engine. Everything was quiet. And I said to my wife, "Did you see that?" And she said, "Stop messing." And I said, "No, I'm sure I saw something." Now she was getting on edge. And I said, "Let me just check." And so I turned on the car engine and I flashed my lights 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then, suddenly, and as I flashed, 3 lights flashed against us. And my wife was on tenterhooks. I was getting all ruffled, and the lights started getting closer and closer, coming towards us. And I thought, it must be another car. And the lights were getting closer. We were getting more and more nervous. My heart skipped a beat, and then suddenly, everything went quiet and all the lights went off. And there in front of us, there was nothing. No car, no bicycle, no lights, nothing. And we thought it must have been the ghost. And that's when we decided to turn the car around and to leave. We couldn't stay in that haunted house. And so we went back to the local pub where we had dinner, and that's where we stayed. And that story will stick with me for many, many years to come. It was October the 31st. It was Halloween. So wherever you're staying, be very, very careful.